In a world obsessed with loud distractions and digital filters, one voice has achieved the impossible, a level of perfection so absolute that many believe it to be a secret. From a quiet town in northern England to the historic stages of London's West End, the rise of Lucy Thomas is not just a success story. It is in the architecture of the human soul. This is the truth behind the purity. In the quiet, industrious corners of Wigan, England, a phenomenon was being engineered in total silence. While her peers were navigating the trivialities of childhood, 7-year-old Lucy Thomas was already subjecting herself to the rigorous discipline of classical vocal training. This wasn't the typical hobby of a weekend dreamer. It was a foundational architecture of breath control and tonal placement. In the United States, we often associate vocal power with the grit of the soul or the belt of the stage, but Lucy's origin was different. It was scientific. By the time she reached a microphone, she had already mastered the secret of vocal compression, the ability to maintain a glass-like clarity while exerting massive internal pressure. This early mastery of technique over raw emotion meant that, when she finally spoke to the world, she didn't just sing. She resonated with a frequency that felt both ancient and brand new. The bright, neon-soaked stage of The Voice Kids UK in 2018 was supposed to be the coronation of a prodigy. Instead, it became the crucible of a professional. Reaching the semi-finals is a feat for any 14-year-old, but for Lucy, the elimination was a pivotal redirection. To the casual viewer, it was a moment of television drama. To the industry, it was a question mark. How does a voice of this caliber exist without a trophy? This failure on the national stage had a profound real-world impact. It forced Lucy and her family to bypass the traditional, often predatory major-label machine that follows reality TV wins. Instead of becoming a fleeting pop commodity, she retreated back into the shadows to refine her craft. This period of quiet after the no is where her artistic identity truly calcified, proving that the most successful careers are often built on the foundations of a public rejection. In a career-defining move that remains largely misunderstood, Lucy bypassed the London giants to sign with the independent Cavendish Records. This wasn't just a business deal. It was a pact for creative autonomy. Under the mentorship of composer Chris Broom, she began a recording schedule that would rival the legends of the 1960s. Between 2019 and 2024, she produced an album every single year, a pace almost unheard of in the modern era. This staggering output served a dual purpose. It flooded the digital landscape with high-quality content and allowed her voice to mature in real time before her listeners' ears. By choosing a boutique label over a corporate powerhouse, she avoided the identity crisis that plagues many young stars. Her career trajectory shifted from a girl trying to find a hit to an artist building a library, ensuring that her grew with her, rather than moving on to the next viral trend. The conflict of the modern era is the battle between the authentic and the artificial. As Lucy's videos began to amass hundreds of millions of views across the United States and Europe, a strange irony emerged. Her vocal control was so inhumanly precise, so devoid of the pitch fluctuations common in young singers, that a wave of digital skepticism arose. Critics and audio engineers often mistook her natural resonance for advanced post-production, polishing. This tension between her capability and the audience's cynicism created a unique artistic hurdle. To combat the secret rumor of studio magic, Lucy had to double down on raw, single-take performances. This had a significant critical reception impact. It forced the industry to reevaluate what a clean vocal actually sounds like. She wasn't just singing songs. She was challenging the listener's perception of what the human voice is capable of without a computer's help. Rarely in the history of musical is a show built entirely around the specific vocal DNA of a teenager. Yet, that is precisely what happened with the musical. The project wasn't just a role for Lucy. It was a sonic mold. The composer reportedly tailored the difficult intervals and soaring crescendos to Lucy's specific tessitura, creating a work that no other vocalist could replicate with the same ease. This technical decision had a massive impact on her career trajectory. It shifted her from a cover artist to an originator. In the US market, where musical is a billion-dollar industry, being the primary voice of a new franchise is a level of leverage most artists spend decades trying to achieve. It gave her a sense of gravity and professional weight, proving that her voice wasn't just a beautiful instrument. It was a foundational piece of intellectual property capable of carrying a production. October 2024 marked the moment the YouTube sensation died and the global icon was born. Transitioning from the controlled environment of a Wigan studio to the historic boards of the West End, backed by a 30-piece orchestra, is a transition that has broken veteran performers. The stakes were immense. If the voice didn't carry, the studio secret rumors would be validated. Instead, Lucy delivered a performance that reportedly earned 9 standing ovations, a record for that historic venue. This moment was the crisis of her career narrative, and the resolution was total. The critical reception in the UK and the ripple effect across US forums were immediate. It proved that her classical training wasn't just for show, it was a tactical advantage. Her ability to project over a massive orchestra without losing the purity of her tone cemented her status as the premier classical crossover artist of her generation. As 2023 transitioned into 2024, the child prodigy label began to fit like an old coat, uncomfortable and restrictive. Lucy was facing the fallout of her own success, the transition into adulthood. During this chapter, she reportedly stepped away from the constant noise of social media to focus on recovery and personal grounding. The secret of this era wasn't a scandal, but a deliberate slowing of the pace. This shift had a noticeable impact on her performance style. Her voice began to take on a darker, more observational quality. She was no longer just hitting notes, she was telling stories. For her global, this evolution was crucial. It transformed the relationship from one of wonder at a talented child to one of respect for a maturing woman. By navigating this transition with such quiet grace, she avoided the typical burnout phase that claims so many who find fame before they find themselves. In the United States, the traditional path to fame is through the gatekeepers of radio and streaming playlists. Lucy Thomas, however, built an empire on the back of a different secret: the power of the visual performance. By focusing on high-definition, emotionally reflective videos, she tapped into a global demographic that felt abandoned by the frantic pace of modern pop music. Each video was an exercise in technical perfection, designed to be shared and analyzed. This strategy had a tangible impact on her critical reception. She became a case study for how independent artists can bypass the Atlantic divide without a major marketing budget. Her 300 million views weren't just numbers. They were a direct-to-consumer bridge that allowed her to sell out venues in cities she had never visited. This digital-first approach proved that in the 21st century, the most powerful secret an artist can have is a direct line to their audience. There is a persistent myth that elite voices require elite machinery. For years, audiophiles speculated that the secret to Lucy's crystal-clear early recordings was a 5-figure microphone setup. The reality, however, provides a fascinating twist. Much of her early viral success was captured using an Editor Keys SL300, a reliable but mid-range condenser microphone. This irony serves as a powerful testament to her technical skill. It wasn't the equipment that created the purity. It was the singer's ability to manage her own dynamics. This revelation impacted the gear-obsessed corners of the music industry, serving as a reminder that high fidelity is a human attribute, not a digital one. By producing world-class audio on standard equipment, Lucy stripped away the excuses of her competitors and highlighted the raw, unadorned power of her classical training, proving that the soul of the song is independent of the circuit board. As we look toward the future, the secret behind Lucy Thomas is finally revealed to be no secret at all. It is the rare, obsessive marriage of classical discipline and modern accessibility. Her trajectory has fundamentally changed how the music industry views the classical crossover genre. No longer is it a niche for the elite. Lucy has made it a global language. Her impact on her remains deeply emotional, while her impact on the industry is purely disruptive. She has built a career that doesn't rely on a single hit song, but on a consistent, high-standard legacy of work. As she moves into her 20s, she stands as a blueprint for the next generation of artists. Her story is a reminder that in a world of fleeting trends and loud distractions, there is still a massive, hungry audience for the quiet, the pure, and the perfectly executed. The silence of Wiggin has finally become the song of the world.